Hey, everybody. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. Yeah, that's right. It's time for Sarcastic Distractions, the interesting podcast for interesting people. Featuring, as always, the Gentleman Society of Podcasting. Myself, Harvey. My heterosexual life mate, David.
Hello.
The ever-loving, ever-annoying AJ!
Small town boy.
There's a good song.
That's actually a great song. I'm
Yeah.
kidding. That's a wonderful song. And actually, that's what we are talking about today. That's right. Let's get into it. Jazz hands. Small towns versus big cities. Let's talk about what makes them great, what makes what the advantage of both are, and everything else. You know what, AJ? You lead the show.
Pros and cons.
Pros and cons.
Not poetry and prose, friends. Pros and cons.
Pros and
Pros and
cons.
cons.
Sounds like a really good and really shitty cereal.
Pros and cons.
It is. It's like, well, it's got the most sugar you could ever want in a cereal. However, it does give you diarrhea.
However, it tastes great. So I grew up in a small town.
Mm-hmm.
You grew up in a big city.
I've grown up in many big cities, yes.
You grew up in
Both.
a small town near a big city.
I've done
and
both.
in a big city.
Yeah, I've done both.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a few things.
I will admit, I've lived in some small towns, but it's been brief periods. A couple months here, a couple months there.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you lived in St. Thomas with me.
Yeah, but there's
Or
also
what?
other small towns like Arva and things like that.
Arva.
Yeah.
Well, you've actually called out the first question of this episode, which is, what do we define as the small town?
Great question.
So St. Thomas, small town?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, considering it's pretty much right next door to London, and London's got a...
I think what we should probably do, we'll go by the number of Tim Hortons.
well, then,
Well, then giant city.
then St. Thomas wins.
Metropolis.
Yeah.
Mega City 4.
Mega City Coffee.
Geez, yeah.
Mega City Double.
It's not totally on topic, I know, but I've always been amused. It's pretty much, at least in Ontario, but even a little bit across Canada, yeah, there's a Tim Hortons usually about 20 minutes away.
That's
Oh,
true. Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
We
Max.
guaranteed it when we were traveling through Canada. It's like, we know there's going to be Tim Hortons eventually. Yeah. It's good.
No.
Point. I would say population. Isn't that what defines?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, but then there's, because population only goes so far. Because I remember where I grew up in Kenora, for the longest time we were had a population of 10 to 13,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
But then it grew above a specific number. I can't exactly remember what that number was, because there was Kenora, which was the bigger hub, the
Mhm.
bigger part of town,
Right.
and then there were all these sort of adjacent communities
Yeah.
that were maybe 5 minutes away. There was Keewatin, Norman, and Jaffrey Mellick, which
Mhm.
were kind of outskirts.
I really love the names of these little towns.
I know.
Weird.
It's so fun.
You Northerners.
Yeah.
But then they all amalgamated into one township, I
Yeah.
guess, and then it
Yeah.
turned into a city.
Right.
Yeah.
So now it's the city of Kenora.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's still small,
It
Sure.
feels small. yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. I guess by population, but I'm thinking more by maybe size,
Yeah.
Because
area
London
of it.
London gets that rap of being a big city with a small town vibe.
Yes, and I can see why.
Mm-hmm.
See, what I've always liked about London, actually, for me personally, is that it is that perfect city size.
Mm.
And again, that's my perspective, which is just, it's always been great because I don't think we're a small city because, you can
doesn't
go
feel
out
like
to a
it.
bar, you can go to a dance club. There's little silly things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not huge either. It's not
Right.
like, a million people or anything. Well, we're getting closer to it, but still, it's not like that
One day.
huge concept where it's downtown. It's gotten rougher over time, of course, but still,
Yeah.
the high rises things are growing. We are growing like every other place, but it's just I've always found that we're right in that middle. We're that perfect, just middle
That
sized
sweet
town.
spot.
Yeah,
Forest town, if you will. Yeah,
Yeah.
it does feel like that. Out of all the places I've been to.
It's I think part of it is because the downtown core isn't as sprawling or as massive as a Toronto or a New
Yeah.
York
Right.
or even a smaller city. You don't have to even go Toronto. You can go to a smaller. But there's
What is it,
thinking,
like 6 by 8 block radius is their downtown? Roughly?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there's
it's pretty
you don't
small,
have
yeah.
sprawling scenery of skyscrapers. and
Right.
You have a few. Obviously, you have high rises.
And there's more coming.
but it's not.
This is true.
It's not just that,
Yes.
right? And then you have small pockets of suburbia.
Oh yeah.
It's more
Yeah.
suburbia than it is.
Yep.
And yeah, I noticed that when I first moved here, it was easy to make a certain section of the city more like a small town.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Because I grew up just on Fanshawe Park and
Mhm.
Trossachs there.
Yep.
And you've got your mall and your
Mhm.
Sobeys and
Yeah, it's a
gas
little
stations.
community.
Yep.
yeah, so you don't
The
even have to
library,
go past Oxford.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
You go up to Cheapside and you're like, okay, this is kind of the edge of this,
Yeah.
edge of my town, the town limits or
Yep.
whatever, right? Kind of thing. That's how I sort of maybe how I made myself feel comfortable.
Oh,
When I moved down
transitioning.
here too,
Yeah,
right?
good
'Cause-
call out actually.
Yeah, because it was like, okay, I can kind of navigate this
Yeah.
area and then
Was
do the same thing
Yeah.
whilst moving around the city
Mhm.
and then kind of compile it all together. And yeah,
nice.
Good
Was
call.
London your first? I mean, I know you went to Winnipeg and stuff, but was London like your first time settling in a big city?
oh yeah, for sure.
Oh,
I
yeah.
never stayed in Winnipeg ever. I just traveled to.
I hear that a lot about a lot of Winnipeggers. They don't stay in Winnipeg long.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I've been to Winnipeg. I love it. But that's just, I've only visited, so
Yeah,
Well, I'm just saying you were
yeah.
allowed to leave.
that's right. That's right.
But yeah, no. When I first moved down here, I moved to St. Catharines.
okay.
So I guess that would be a smaller
Smallish.
city,
Yeah.
right? It's not your London.
it's not
kind of-
London.
No,
London, I
definitely not.
would think of a bigger
Oh,
London is a
definitely does.
city.
a bigger
Yeah.
place than
Yeah.
St. Catharines.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah, it was. No, it was a little column A, little column B. It was kind of weird because everything, even in St. Catharines, is pretty much readily available.
Mhm.
Like, there's a mall. It wasn't, 6 stores in a rundown area like our quote unquote mall,
Right.
Right.
which its biggest part was Zellers,
Nice.
right?
The fun days.
The Zellers.
So yeah, it was a good kind of stepping point to moving to London, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah. Easy
Yeah.
transition.
I just kind of, it is what it is now.
Yeah.
It's no different to me, really.
Well, it's one of
I
those.
mean, it is. I guess it's different and it's not because can't just go to the lake. You can't just walk.
Oh, you got
A
about
couple
at
blocks
least a
and
5-10
go
minute
to the-
drive.
okay, gotcha.
Go to
the
yeah,
lake,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
I was like, it's not that hard to get to. I now
Yes,
understand
yeah,
what you
yeah,
mean.
But you have,
yeah.
but that's because that's going to the beach and stuff like that for us wasn't like a thing. Like it wasn't like
It was an
You had to-
event. Yeah.
it wasn't a big. Yeah, it wasn't an event. You just did.
Yeah.
You could go anywhere and just jump off the side of a rock that was going into the water. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's your beach for the day.
That's less city size and more location, though. I would call out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
because
I don't know.
like Toronto back in the days, I don't know if you can go into Ontario anymore, Lake Ontario. I'm not sure if it's allowed.
I don't-
But
Yeah, I don't think
No,
you
if you
can. I
want
don't think
to.
you
But
can go right
back
from,
the day, if you were downtown, it was
was a thing.
literally you could just jump in.
Toronto Beach was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But that's
yeah.
going back in
Back
the
in
day.
the day. Yeah, yeah.
That's like going back a
wanna
couple
say-
decades.
I want to say 90s. I think.
okay. Well,
last
yeah.
time, but
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
thing.
I don't think it's allowed anymore. I'm not sure though,
No.
or at least
I
not
can't
not
imagine
not
it.
proper.
Because I'm thinking about like going to Victoria and you're on an island. You'd probably have to go to specific places to just jump in the ocean. You can just
I've
be
been to
downtown Victoria on the pier and be like, I'm gonna go for a swim.
So I don't
I've
know
actually
about
been to
Victoria.
Victoria,
I don't know about Victoria. I must admit.
and they do have places where you can jump in.
But not right just at the pier.
Well,
Like
because
right-
the reason
how
why you
right
can't at the
downtown,
pier,
there's that kind of
Yeah,
pier
yeah.
sort of thing.
the reason
right?
why you can't at the pier because it's
Just the
they're
boats,
boats.
but,
There's
yeah.
tons of boats, and they're coming in and
There's
out.
boats in the lake.
Yeah, but like it's
There's boats in the
it's a harbor.
fucking
So
boats.
I mean you can't. I guess.
You could do that at our harbor front.
And I
You
did
could
see
just
people.
jump right off the dock
I did
into
see
the
people.
lake.
Yeah, I did see people doing that, doing the thing in the water in the right by the dock. But I didn't see anybody going out massively
police-
swimming. And I
Oh,
saw
okay.
people fishing, doing their thing. So it wasn't. They're
Okay,
kind of
so
like
it's a
their own
little
little
more-
community.
okay,
Yeah.
Maybe that's a smaller area than
Yeah.
what I should
Victoria and
be referencing,
Vancouver
right?
Island are very small.
Yeah.
But they're interesting in the fact that they're their own little hubs because they're
I
surrounded
have
by
to
water.
admit, though, personally, if it was a harbor, I wouldn't go diving in there because it's all the boats and shit, and
Oh,
people,
doo-doo.
garbage.
You
Yeah,
got doo-doo.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
That's what
I'd
people
go,
do.
and again, it's one of those silly, just humans being human, because I'm going to jump into the exact same everything, but just a few
Yeah,
blocks.
blocks away,
just
yeah.
a few blocks away.
I don't want to know I'm being peed on.
Exactly.
Basically, all right?
Well, I know I am because I'm the one doing the pee. But I've always said, if I'm in a lake, I might as well just pee in the lake. Like, come on.
Well, it's different than peeing in a pool.
I won't in the
Way
pool.
different.
Pool's more
Yeah, that's
contained.
Yeah, I
right?
won't in
Yeah.
a pool.
You
That's
go in the
just
pool
rude.
where it's got chemicals to clean
Yeah.
that, but
I'll fart in a pool because
There's
it's
only
funny.
so much we've learned
true, that's
from
true.
South Park.
That's true.
Is a pee-pee.
That's true. And yeah, you're farting in the pool.
I will
mean,
fart
it's-
in a
you
pool,
got
'cause
it.
it's funny.
It's
just
hilarious.
Yeah.
brrrr.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't fart. In a
There's
pool where
nothing
it
better
can
than when
fart.
you're sitting there talking to somebody and then the bubbles start popping behind you and they stop talking and you go, oh, sorry, excuse me.
Oh, you're here. I'm so sorry. Take care of that for you. Hilarious. Yeah. So, okay. So I agree with your point, Dave.
Of course you do.
Look,
I'm right.
location that plays a factor for those fun events. I would imagine small town living in I don't know, Lloydminster, Saskatchewan would be very different than small town living in
Yeah.
Kenora.
Oh yeah.
As big town living in, say, Toronto is different than living in big
Well,
town
yeah,
living in
and that's
London.
one thing
Oh,
though
yeah.
to call out because I have to admit, anytime I go to Toronto, I love even just walking downtown,
Oh, yeah.
taking the subway,
Yeah,
it's good
all
times.
these things. I'm like, oh my God, I would love to live here. And I really do think part of me would enjoy it.
Oh, I think so, yeah.
But to
I
that
think you would
same
love it.
point, I have to also give credit to, London at least, where I get to experience similar things, not as
Mm.
big, grand, and exciting, but, similar things in that soft little warm space.
Yeah, I hear you.
Where I can
yeah.
be comfy and not worry too much and all these things.
I was thinking that too. So recently I went to go see a concert in Toronto, and same thing. It was nice to go and be a
Mhm.
part of the Toronto feel, and
Mhm.
it was awesome. But then the idea of coming home, which is only a couple hours away, was really nice.
Yeah.
Real cinch, super easy.
I must
know,
say, and again, this is one of those things that depends on timings. And with COVID and all that shit, they screwed up their schedules a bit.
Mhm.
If you get the opportunity, do the Via Run. You take
Oh, yeah?
Yep, take the cheap
Mm.
train up. It'll cost you like $30 to go to Toronto
Sick.
from London. You
What?
take the expensive one back where you get the higher class, the free meal, free alcohol, free treats.
Yeah.
And that one will run you about $60-$70. But
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
It's worth it.
oh yes,
I'll
it's
do
worth
that.
it.
I'll do that. Yeah, sounds like a good idea. I'll do it.
Heck yes.
I missed the
That's a good
days when we would always do the office travel, and we were allowed to at the time take the high class back because that would cover the dinner costs.
Got you.
Mm.
Smart.
Oh, yeah.
Smart. It's
It
like,
was
I'll
good.
just have a liquid dinner today, please.
Oh,
Thank
it
you.
was always great. It was always great. And again, as long as you politely, the people serving on the high class area, as long as you're just politely, may I have a refill? As long as you're always polite, you could fill that shit up through the entire rack.
I'll have a beer, thank you. No, don't leave.
Yeah.
Have a refill.
Beer, thank you.
No, I always had a style. It was always, wine. Because once they open up the bottles, it's far more free giving, I always found.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
When I
yes.
did the beers, it was nice, but then you always had that beer can. And so it was a
Gotcha.
lot hard. With a wine, they give you the little
Ah.
wine glass, everything, and you could always just ask for the refills.
Nice.
It worked perfectly.
Nice. Yeah.
And then you get the shots after dinner. Oh, now I want to go take a train ride.
Yeah, let's just go take the train just for the
Plus it, I'm telling you.
overpriced. I don't know.
Via, +1 to you. Come on, give me free train rides.
Yeah, Via. If you wanna
We'll do a podcast on your train.
sponsor our podcast
fun,
and give us
actually.
free drinks on the
We'll do a
it's on.
podcast on the train about trains.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That
Toot-toot.
would be wonderful, actually. We should do that.
The
That'd be a fun
the
time.
history of Via Rail.
We should do that.
Yeah. Well, I've
Yeah.
always wanted to do the train ride out to Montreal and things like that.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do
Because
that
I've
too.
heard good things as well, but I
Mhm.
just haven't done. And again, just all the other stuff's going on. Like I even took the train to
We're-
Stratford, and I had my mask down as
Oh,
I was looking
yeah.
at my phone. Okay, I was breaking the rule, I will admit. But the guy,
Now-
your mask now, or we kick you
Yeah.
off the train as the train's
Oh,
moving.
jeez.
Yeah, he was fucking wow.
There was
You know,
a
like
time,
Indiana
man.
Jones throw me off the train.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was basically
Instead of
it.
no tickets, no mask.
Yeah.
No ticket.
That's crazy.
Anyway, back onto the topic. I
back on to
apologize.
small towns versus big cities. Yeah. I think growing up, I've always loved living in big cities, but I think it's also what you grow to adapt to it. And I agree with the sentiment, Dave, about London. It's got that kind of warm, fuzzy to it living here.
Yeah,
It's just-
we get
yeah.
we get the best of both worlds here.
But as I'm getting older, I'm realizing it's not as important as it is to live in a big city because you pay for it. You pay for it to live in a big city.
Oh yeah.
And now that we're so connected with the internet and shopping and all that sort of stuff, you don't always have to live in a big place to get all the amenities you would get from.
Oh
living somewhere
no,
else.
that is true.
That's true.
So-
I think some experiences though.
Yeah,
are key. Like,
concerts and things like that. Those would be the big
or even
thing.
even small things like
movies.
escape rooms.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, but
like
for the amount of times I go to
trivial,
escape
small-
rooms,
Especially nowadays.
rare.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but I hear you. You're right. There's more events happening in big
There's
cities,
less
for sure.
entertainment in a small town. I find.
Right, because the money's
There's less that type of entertainment, but also, maybe not small town, but if you are out in the countries, like I can remember when we lived out in the country, and this is one of those fun things, and my kids do it at my uncle's place nowadays, where you're bored, you go get the little mini gun, and you start just shooting random things.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's true.
Right? Like,
Yep.
and it's okay.
That's
And again, it's not
fine,
a powerful gun or anything, but it's an actual little gun. No big
It's
deal.
something you do.
Yeah.
for sure.
Or hey, you're bored and you have a shitty kind of semi-torn down garage thing, so you go collect all the hay from the neighbor's yard, and because again, he doesn't even know you've collected it, climb up and start jumping into the hay.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yep, I've done that.
We used to have dirt bikes.
yeah, dirt
Yeah,
bikes.
Ride
Yeah,
dirt bikes
my
around,
brother
like-
had one, and yeah, he would go on his little dirt bike and go.
Oh, we used to rip around the school
Yeah.
Mm.
after hours and stuff like that because the
Yeah.
schools would have running tracks.
No, nice idea.
The one
Yeah.
school that was across from me too had like a trail up like the side of
Oh,
like,
okay.
a
Nice,
hill
nice.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I'd go up back there and
Nice.
Yeah, cool.
up and down. Kind of thing.
Nice.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, so it is one of those differences. Now,
Yeah.
for me personally, yes, I'm a city kid. I know this. I am a city guy through and through. Because even when we were out in the country, yes, I had fun moments. Finding mice, rats, and when I was young, and just poke, stick, throw things of this nature. Maybe not the bestest things, I know, but like at the same token, like yeah, no, I wouldn't want to move out necessarily to a country. Now, that being said, I love to garden.
Sure.
So my big thing,
Bigger garden.
perfect place for me nowadays, personally, it would be I would love to have a decent size, don't have to be huge, like farmy type place where I have some field area, and I could ride my bike and be in the city in 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's what I was just
That's
about
the
to say.
ideal.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like north of Fanshawe Park Road, but even up there now is starting to get
Oh, it's
Oh, it's
insane.
crazy developed now.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
very developed.
Yeah.
So you'd have to like Lucan, Arva,
Yeah, and those are
silly
gonna-
like that, right?
Yeah.
Talking about your amalgamation, I think that's what you're going to see in the coming years is the Lucan, the Arvas, and St. Thomas's will all start to be part of London
You do-
Township or
The,
whatever
the
it's called.
greater London area.
I don't know what
whatever,
St.
yeah.
Thomas, but the other two will give.
You don't think St. Thomas really?
Oh God, that's going to be because you figure to get to St. Thomas, it's still a half an hour drive doing 80.
Is it?
Yeah, that's still 40-ish plus kilometers away. Like it's.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how far.
I remember there was talks about
how
it.
far the GTA extends. I can't.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, eventually I think we'll see them.
No, GTA is a good example because yes, it's one of those things where Toronto, but you're part of Toronto-ish type thing.
Sure.
But
You're in Etobicoke.
yeah, exactly. So it's one of those things. But that's taken
Mississauga.
them hundreds of years. Well, Mississauga's their own city. They're not part of the.
They're part of the GTA.
Are they really? I
No,
always
they
thought
are.
they were
Yeah.
always their own.
They're technically Toronto now.
Yeah.
I did not really
Yeah.
know that. Shit. Okay. Well, foot and mouth.
That's why I was wondering how far it extends
Yeah. I
because
don't
it
know.
goes
Sure.
up to like Vaughan and down like Mississauga. It's like a big.
Yeah, I honestly didn't know about Mississauga. Like,
we
yeah.
can Google it. Hold on.
Yeah.
Everybody, we're gonna be quiet just for a moment as we
For a
I'm
Google.
second.
gonna ask Jeeves.
Let's edit
Ah,
this.
geez.
For a second.
Hey, geez.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think AJ's right. Well, he's looking that up.
I've always done the if the subway line's there, it's part of Toronto. If there's
Yeah.
no subway line, not part of
Okay.
Toronto.
Ah, yeah.
That
That's
makes
fair.
sense.
Wait a minute. That means Scarborough's a part of Toronto. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
That's always been
You know
my
what?
style.
I think it is.
What, Scarborough?
I believe it's
Scarborough, I
Oh,
thought.
it definitely is a part
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Toronto.
Scarborough
It's definitely one
is.
of the boroughs.
It's only
for sure.
Mississauga. I
Okay, so the
disagree.
GTA includes the city of Toronto
Uh-huh.
and the regional municipalities of Durham,
Yeah.
Halton,
Yeah.
Peel, and York.
Yes.
So
Alright.
Halton, it extends all the way to Milton,
Yeah.
which is in Halton, the Halton district, which is like
I didn't know it went to
almost
Milton.
an hour away from Toronto. Yeah.
I
Right.
didn't know it went that high.
Yeah,
I thought Milton was its own still. It was one of those
Greater
small
Toronto
things.
area begins in Burlington, in the Halton region,
Really?
and extends along Lake Ontario past downtown Toronto eastward to Clarington in the Durham region.
Well, I didn't realize Burlington was a part of the greater
Yeah.
GTA.
There you go.
Okay, here's a picture. I'll tell you exactly what's there.
Yeah.
Look, and it's-
So-
Please describe pixel by pixel.
Pixel by pixel. Let our
Yeah.
audience know what
Yeah,
it
yeah.
looks like.
Burlington, Oakville, Milton, and Halton Hills. Mississauga, Brampton, and Caledon.
I am surprised about the Mississauga, I must admit.
City of Toronto, Vaughan, Markham, King, Whitechurch, East Gwillimbury, Georgina, Uxbridge, Pickering, Ajax, Whitby, Oshawa, Clarington, Skagog, and Brock.
Oshawa is?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I knew Oshawa too.
So
Really?
all of those are members of the Greater Toronto area.
Yeah,
there you
So
intriguing.
technically, Toronto.
But each
Yeah.
one of those regions, my understanding is they have their own local council and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Halton
Yeah,
has their own regional
Yeah.
police,
Right.
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's,
So-
it's not governed by the Toronto. Police or
Exactly.
anything.
So they're really GTA by name only.
Yeah, they're just GTA.
They're not actually.
Again, on a technicality.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like anytime when you're like, you leave Canada or even just Ontario sometimes. It's like, where are you from? Oh, I'm from London or I'm from St. Thomas.
Yeah.
What? Where's that?
Where is that?
I'm from the GTA.
Yeah, I'm from
GTA
GTA.
Toronto area. Oh, Toronto!
Well, that's why.
Fucking time.
And that's
every
funny
time.
because even in a small town, I'd always have to reference Winnipeg or Thunder Bay.
Yeah.
Right? It's like I'm 6 hours west of Thunder Bay.
Oh,
that's-
you're in Toronto.
no, that'd be east.
I know. Maybe you're right.
Or 2 hours on this side of the border of blah 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 blah. Yeah, blah blah blah.
That's why I love describing. Oh, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Canada. Well, we're in Canada. Oh, it's called London, Ontario. Oh, where's London, Ontario? It's 2 hours north of Detroit. Oh, okay,
Oh
nice.
yeah, okay, yeah, okay.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So by that count, that means like St. Thomas will become London, part of London any day now. Like, it's just a matter
Right.
of time, really. Do we want him though?
No, I'm going to
just
say,
kidding.
you know what? No,
I'm
no.
kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm not kidding.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
I have lived in
So
this
there
region
goes
my
our two
entire
St.
life.
Thomas listeners.
yeah, I know our two St. Thomas listeners.
The farthest I've been from this region is when I went to college and did the Toronto living for a year and a half. Well, a little over a year and a half.
Okay.
It was fun, I have to admit. And that's what I mean. And it was the best time because, again, I'm in college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just, I had fun, going downtown, and I probably shouldn't admit to this, going out to lovely dance clubs with friends on the subway. Then we decide just to get off at some random place. Nobody knows where we are. We start walking around. We found a nice little dancing establishment where they took off their tops and stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Where's
It was
that
funny though
place?
because we couldn't find our way back to the subway.
Oh shucks.
It was fucking hilarious.
Oh jeez.
Because again, this is a little bit before everybody
Yeah.
having cell phones and
Yeah.
shit of this nature, and and we're asking people, and nobody's talking to us. It was hilarious.
Hilarious
Yeah.
indeed. Yeah. Things like that can happen.
Oh
in
yeah.
big cities. That's the best.
Oh, it was good. It was.
That's
It's one of those
the
things.
best. I don't know,
No,
that would scare the crap out of me.
no, because well, wait. Like, finish. Sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
Well, no, it's not so much a fit. It's just one of those things that it's a great retrospective memory because nothing bad happened. It was
Right.
just a fun, stupid experience.
Yeah.
It could have equally been the other side.
David, you could have gotten shot.
Exactly. It's
But I mean,
Toronto.
I guess we can't say anything walking around Brooklyn at 3:30 in the morning.
I did that like in so many different cities. I was just gonna say the one time BJ, Carlos, sorry, Phil, Deshaun, and myself all went to Toronto. I'm like, why were we all going together? I'm not sure why, but we all went together, and ridiculousness shit happened at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning,
Oh,
and we were
no.
finding ourselves in after parties
Yep.
and all this sort of nonsense, and it was bonkers, and that's just
nothing good ever happens. After
nothing
two.
goes. No, nothing good happens after 2. But London's no slouch either. I found after parties here that I didn't know existed.
I got run over by
I
a
have found some
bicyclist.
things.
You got run over by a. I thought you were going to say bus.
No, a bicyclist.
Not yet.
I was just a tender young 15, 16, something of this
Something
nature.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
we were very young.
We
at that
were experiencing alcohol for our firstish time, and some other fucking asshole ran me over with his bicycle.
Yeah, it was being a dick. Dave's fall over drunk. He fucking, I'm happy.
So he's had a beer and a half.
Yeah, about
Yeah,
a beer
pretty
and a half.
much.
And I'm like trying to help carry him and whatever. And some dick is like just there, like running his front tire, and Dave's shoe in his leg is like, go, man. I'm like, dude, the guy's fucked. Why?
You have a whole field.
Just go, man. Let's go. He clearly was on something too.
Oh, yeah.
My.
Yeah.
It was
a
fun.
very wild and crazy night.
It was
That's
good.
for sure.
Sounds like it.
Then we played on train tracks. That
Played
was
on train
not-
tracks.
That was not
That's
smart.
for another story.
And then somebody who
It
I
can
won't
happen
name,
anywhere.
somebody I won't name, lit the bottle filled with gasoline, put it on the train track, and I had that's completely wrong. Kicked it.
Yeah,
Oh.
that guy was a dick.
It's one of
did
those
that.
times, though. It's one of those times I wish we had cell phones because that must have looked good.
It must have looked amazing, dude. It looked like in my mind, it was like a phoenix of fire.
Exactly.
That's what it looked like.
In my
like you
mind,
see
it was
Batman.
just really hot and painful, but
Yeah, well, yeah.
I can guess that the other party is in this room.
no.
No, I mean, I wasn't.
He who lit the bottle.
No.
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 I was not. Let's just say I was not. I was up for a good time. Let's just say that. That's where I
Oh
was.
yeah,
at.
again, it was all
And
fun. It was just it wasn't. He wasn't trying to hurt anything. It was
No,
just
no,
he
no,
wanted
no.
it to look cool. And
We just want to have fun. But
Yeah.
the best part was, and it wasn't just gasoline. We were making napalm.
Well, yeah, that
Oh,
part was
geez.
fun.
Let's talk about that first.
Okay, but we didn't put that on the track, so that's okay.
No, that's true. This was not on the tracks. Yes, we were
being
smart.
responsible
We were smart
teenagers.
arsonists. We were testing before we were going to blow shit up. But the best part was for fucking sure, Dave getting the conscience like, yeah, I'm gonna make sure to kick this over because the wick basically went in and like nothing happened, and Dave's like, yeah, I'm just gonna kick it over to be safe. As soon as his fucking foot hit that bottle, it explodes.
it was so cool.
Explodes. But thankfully, I'm glad you kicked it because I think it sent the inertia.
Oh no, yeah.
mainly away
I
from you.
felt it, but it wasn't anything.
Oh my
damaging.
god!
Was
It's
there
what
no,
a scene.
no splashback of like
No,
fireballs landing
No.
on your pants.
The dumbest thing I did for splashback was the rockets, model rockets that you could actually.
Okay,
I dug
yeah.
out the engine.
Yeah.
And we sat behind a portable, and we're trying to light this thing in the winter for some stupid reason.
In a fucking
It wouldn't-
plastic bag.
It wouldn't fucking light. So what do? I stick my hand all the way in. It lights, burns my motherfucking hand, like
Oh my.
the whole hand. I get burn. I have burn marks all over it because it. Yep.
So I'll never forget. Sorry, go ahead. Finish. Sorry.
And yes, and then what? Of course, do we do as proper responsible teenagers? We go to microplay.
Yes, that's right. The look
And we
on Dave's
play.
face was fucking priceless. Like it all happened in a second. Like it all happened. He's like, I'm trying to get a light. I'll just stick my hand in there and do it. And then the bag was gone. Everything was just gone. And Dave's like, like, stick your hand in the snow. Stick your hand in the snow.
Yeah,
Like,
that was
like-
good. It worked. It helped. It helped.
It's like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, do you have to go to the hospital? It's like, I don't know. Maybe I said, we gotta go play video games. Okay, then let's go play video games.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We went and played video games.
That
Well,
sounds like
okay.
some small town shit.
That was some small town shit in London, Ontario. For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we had
So
fun.
you could get that stuff no matter where you are, you know? And like you said in New York, I mean, look at the ridiculous hijinks we were seeing in that place.
Oh wow.
Right. And I still say big city life, as much as I would love to live in Toronto, if I had the fucking chance to live in Brooklyn, in a heartbeat, I'd go. In a
Oh yeah,
heartbeat.
when I did
In
the
a
visit out there,
fucking
I
heartbeat.
loved it.
I love it.
Loved
It's
yeah.
such a cool place.
Yeah.
It's just would you not agree, AJ?
It was interesting.
I just
I don't know.
the vibe.
Again, see, I think you saw a different thing than I did, man. Because I saw like bars on every window.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yes.
You
Well, you
know.
see that here now a lot.
You're seeing
Like
it more
business
and more.
or downtown here, London.
Yeah,
Oh man, I remember when I was a kid. Like, fuck, I didn't have a key to my house. Our doors were never locked.
yeah. Yeah.
But here,
That's a
I
Canadian
would
thing.
know. I lock my door twice.
Well, you lock your door. Yeah, when you're inside, outside, don't
Outside,
matter.
inside,
It's
right?
locked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just talking
So-
about that with a neighbor. I live in an apartment building, and I don't even leave my apartment.
No,
unlocked
even
anymore.
when we go outside for
No.
have a smoke and take the dog out and
No,
hanging out,
just don't
he'll lock the door.
And it's not even just because I can't speak for you guys. It's not that I'm paranoid. It's just that I've seen enough evidence in the wrong direction for me to be like, okay, yep, it's better to lock my door to be safe.
Other than cars, which is a thing where, you leave your car unlocked, people literally, you see them walking up and down the parking lot just testing doors to find the one car. Yeah. But other than that, one thing I do think is a bit different in our day and age. I'm not saying that it makes the world better. Like, I remember as a kid, there was a lot more just random theft and things. Whereas nowadays, I don't know, I could be completely fucking wrong, but it feels like there isn't as much random theft anymore.
You don't see it like you did, that's for sure. Like, obviously, theft's a thing. Obviously,
like certain things are still the same.
Yeah,
you leave a bike unlocked, it's gone.
Yeah,
I think it depends on the area you're in, because my buddy, he lives just over by the Western Fair, and he had his barbecue stolen.
Oh, wow.
Shovels stolen.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that is
rake stolen.
Lame. Speaking of,
like
I've got a rake and a shovel if you want to buy it off me, Dave. I just found it the other day.
No.
Just kidding. That sucks, dude, that your buddy actually had that shit stolen.
Yeah,
off
like
of
just like on his back porch, his fucking barbecue was sitting there.
Shit.
I live in a scavenger area. I'm not going to name the area of the city I live in, but I swear to God, every fucking neighbor I have is a scavenger that just goes and picks things out of the garbage.
Oh, yeah.
All over.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if this is like every area, but it seems like it's very prevalent in we made jokes about this. Seen some of the people.
It could be any area.
I would imagine.
Mine's a bit different because at least for my area, the big thing is we have whenever it's garbage recycling day, we have the bottle finders.
Right.
And I have to admit, what do I generally do? I take them and I put them in a bag, and I put them in a bag in the recycling bin so they can just grab it.
I call them Pete and the Bottle Pirates.
Yeah. Like, and I have to admit, the ones I've seen, it's not like they're dumping the recycling bins and making a mess. They actually go in responsibly. They're just poking around. And I'm one of those.
Fair enough.
Yeah, go do your thing. It's garbage
recycling. Live in different areas,
the people that drive around in the trucks to pick up random shit. I have 2 bikes that were given as a gift to the kids in the sense of, hey, if they want them, use them.
Sure.
Yeah, they're too small for the kids. What am I going to do? I'm just going to put it up by the tree and they'll be gone.
That's true.
Probably.
Yeah,
that's true.
Oh, yeah, I saw it was garbage day in our neighborhood today, and I saw some guy driving with the trailer, and it's got all the scrap metals and shit in there.
I think I've seen that guy in your area.
In my area?
In your area.
In my area.
Yeah, I think I've seen him.
Oh, yeah. We have somebody similar. I have no issue with it. As long as you're not being an ass, a dick, or rude or any of these things, then fuck it. I'm going to throw this out, and you got some other better use, and you're not being an ass about it. Kick ass, chew bubble gum. Hey, I hope it helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't see much of that back home.
We didn't, but we live in different areas.
Town,
The scavengers in my area do not leave it in a nice
so that is my stipulation. I have no problem with people digging through trash as long as you are being responsible-ish with it.
Yeah,
it's like, we don't
live in
like back in the old days.
Society.
Grocery stores, you could get free food very easily from grocery stores because if they couldn't sell it, they would just basically put it out with the garbage,
right?
And you could go dig through it.
Yeah,
like you could do this very easily.
I've seen documentaries on that shit.
Yeah, no, it was great. Nowadays they have those super bin things you cannot get access.
Oh, yeah.
They will call the police on you. If you go dumpster diving.
And you know what I love too, and I do not mean to knock different police forces. That's something the cops will show up for.
Oh, they will. They'll show up for that. I know. It's like,
oh,
you're gonna get mad at me and stop me from stealing, throwing out food, garbage, literally garbage.
Like, I don't know. I
know.
It's one of those things of, yes, if the person doing this was creating a mess or ruining or somehow interfering, then no, okay, you must stop.
Yeah.
Or at least do more appropriately.
Right.
But if somebody really is just going to be digging through trash
for food,
exactly,
for something that they deem edible.
Yeah, like in my opinion, it was like, well, but he might get sick. That person has made that choice.
Yeah.
And this is a whole social argument we get into. I agree with you 1,000%. Like that's that person's life.
There's people who survive off that and don't get sick.
That's
exactly.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's a whole other
Now, if they eat something, get sick, and then try to sue the place, then we can just totally laugh.
Then,
yeah, if you sue for slipping in the garbage, no, you crawled in there, sir.
Yeah,
Like, this back had mold on it, but you ate it.
Yep.
You saw the mold.
I picked off most of it.
I ate some, but my gonorrhea is really good and felt better now.
Hilarious.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I always felt in small towns always feel very isolated. I think because of growing up in big cities, I always feel like, fuck, I'm going to miss out on something.
To do with either.
Oh, yeah?
No,
Yeah.
there's definitely some FOMO
Maybe.
when you live in a small town.
FOMO.
Fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
for sure.
Yeah, that's always been kind of sitting on my back whenever I've been in a small town for a long period
Really?
of time.
Yeah, I have to admit, I don't think I've ever felt that.
And my last stretch was recently.
I was younger though when I was small townish.
Right.
Yeah.
But we stayed in Glencoe for a few months coming back from our trip,
Gotcha.
whatever. And I definitely felt that. Even though I could go free, whatever I wanted, come to London, do whatever I wanted, I still felt that kind of.
Well, there's always
Isolated.
that travel thing. That is one
Yeah.
thing I will admit. Because
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Glencoe's
Yeah,
a
it's not
real
like
small town.
London where if I go downtown and I enjoy myself too much, oh shit, how am I getting home? Well, fuck, I taxi
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Right, like it's easy. Like
Yeah.
I can get home, no problem. Hell, fuck, even walking it, I'll be home in 2 hours. Big deal.
For sure, yeah.
When you live out in usually when we say smaller town, but that more country-esque thing,
It's a bigger
it's a
deal.
bigger issue.
Yeah, good call.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, no, there's definitely a feeling of isolation, thinking that there's more in a bigger city.
Hmm.
Like,
Well, yeah.
especially living in a town that I lived in, you could consider to be like pretty much butt fuck nowhere.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're 2 hours away from the biggest city,
Yeah, that is far.
right? And so so you don't have it's interesting because I mean, nowadays it's probably easier again, like you were saying earlier with the Amazons and ordering, but back in the day, like, you didn't have Calvin Klein jeans.
For sure, yeah.
You maybe had one store that maybe sold them.
You guys didn't even have a
Kind of
consumers
thing, right?
distributing. Damn it.
No, we had back then we probably had, what was it, Woolco.
Oh, fucking Woolco. Yeah. Shout out to Woolco.
Wolco is great.
I'll give those guys.
And then it turned into the Zellers.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was I mean, you get your basic stuffs,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah,
it was more, you'd have to be up there. It was you had to be into something, like
Yeah.
snowmobiling or
Some sort of
going out on
pastime.
the lake or going out and fishing or
Mhm.
water skiing or some kind of water sport or something
Yeah.
like that, right? They had those sort of like stores. You could get all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Right.
Biking was another big one. They had a bike store there because there was a lot
Nice.
of bush trails and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
no video game stores, no EB games, nothing like that. You'd have to go to Winnipeg to.
Yeah.
To get to any of that.
get that
DSL
kind of stuff.
internet.
Oh yeah, we had that.
Yeah, because I have to admit, even
Yeah.
when I was in my country living, like, I was, half an hour drive from a city.
Yeah.
So that doesn't, that's nothing
Doesn't
like what
really
you went
count.
through.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
So yes, the isolation, I guess, would be
Hard.
more so than
Yeah.
because you can't. There's no driving half an hour. You drive
No.
half an hour, you're in the fucking bush.
Yeah.
You're not in a city, right? You want to
Yeah.
go the other way, you got to drive 6 hours to the next city.
Yeah.
Now you got other little towns, kind of,
But they're all the same as you.
It's
Yeah.
if not worse
Yeah.
off than you. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
literally.
good call. I never thought of it that way, to be honest.
There's a town in between Kenora and Winnipeg. It's called Prada, and it's the town is literally 2 gas stations and a house.
That's not
I've
a
always
town.
liked towns
That's
like
a-
that.
There's a Shell on one side of the road. There's an Esso on the other side of the road. There's a road between them, and there's like a house or 2 behind them.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's like it. I swear to God.
Well, that's like towns like even nearby now, like well, I shouldn't call it nearby, but Thorndale. I remember when I was young,
Okay.
and it always felt like 2 houses in a store. Now they're actually fucking growing
big.
and shit.
Yeah.
Well, I think with the recent onset of the pandemic, it's changed small city life. I wonder, our thoughts on small city versus big city come from our past, right? Growing up with it. More and more people now live in small towns again because they don't have to go to work. So I wonder if living's a little bit different and better.
Yeah, it might be. Well, plus it was called out earlier. Things like the internet exist now, so
Yeah.
you feel a little bit more
Yeah.
connected. But
Yeah,
the other
yeah.
thing is with the small town, you can usually get that more classic big backyard, nice house at a lower rate.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Than here, where
yeah.
a house or a property that's like double the cost, you're actually smaller property, smaller house,
Yeah.
and your neighbor, you can open your window and touch their house.
Yeah,
That's right.
with
Exactly.
the new housing.
For sure.
I keep
More bang for your
keep
buck.
trying to convince my parents to move down this way, like they're in Owen Sound,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And I just think they need a smaller house.
Okay.
Personally. I mean, if they stay in own sound, they stay in own sound. But, yeah, that's their kind of the whole thing's like we don't want to be able to, you know, have our neighbor a foot and a half away.
Oh, yeah.
right?
Right.
Like it's pushing it where I live.
Right.
Like it's for me, it's pushing it having my neighbor a driveway's width away.
Yep.
Let alone, you know,
Well, that's where
you can't go between the houses or you know.
Yeah.
You know, that's where I'm fortunate because like my place was built, you know, late 70s, mid 70s, around there. And so it's that perfect, in my opinion, time of the house is okay size, the backyard's nice size, the front yard is nice size. So it just, you know, I feel I got that comfort. Whereas, you know, they got the new neighborhood building just a little bit to the east of us. And sure, the houses are fucking huge compared to mine, but they have no yard.
No.
Yeah.
No.
and
Exactly.
like no space. And I look at, personally for me, small city, big city, medium city, I don't give a flying fuck. I couldn't live in that style. It's just,
I would never be able to live in one of those cookie cutter houses. That's what I call them, cookie cutter. Like I can't remember, we were driving the other day. It might have been around here. It might have been a little further north, but we came into a community and they had those like, what do you call them?
They're called prefab houses.
Yeah, those kind of thing. The prefab house, right? But there were 4 doors on the front. So you had 4 different units.
Yeah.
In one, and I was like, I couldn't do one of those side by sides. I would be able to do.
Yeah, the duplex.
Technically,
maybe.
I live in a duplex now, but it's I don't know, the whole side by side thing. Just
I've done it.
That
and
actually
it's not that
doesn't
big a
bug
deal,
me.
if I was renting one,
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
if I
renting,
was
yeah.
like people have to buy these shits.
Yeah.
I've
they
never
buy them.
understood. I have to admit, more from my side is less I hate those. It's just more of I've never understood buying a duplex.
Duplex or living in a condo like complex kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where you're like the row houses.
Yeah.
You can't do anything to your front yard. You
Exactly.
can't do anything to your backyard, even though your backyard is like the size of a postage
Yeah.
stamp.
Yeah.
You can't paint your fucking inside. You can't do shit.
Yeah. Like if I
And
was
you're paying
renting
for this.
Exactly. If I'm renting, I'm
That's
okay
one
with
thing,
that.
yeah.
I'm totally okay if I'm just renting. But yeah, when you go to purchase
But this
that
is
is fucked.
technically my property.
I know.
I should be able to do whatever I want.
Yes.
Not to get into this
As
argument,
long as you're
it's
not
not
affecting your
technically
neighbor.
your property because you are responsible to pay property taxes. And if you do not pay property taxes, the government can confiscate your land. So that's technically not your land.
That's not my point.
I know.
Yeah,
But all I'm saying is, I hear you. That is a weird thing. But actually, a friend, not going to mention his name because you guys are calling out, but a friend who actually did just that, bought his unit, which is a condo in one of these areas, because he was doing the whole roommate situation.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I think I can probably afford this. And he figured out a deal and he just bought it and he's going to try to build it. For him, it's about building the equity. Does he plan on living there forever? Absolutely not. He just wants to build the equity.
So
get ready for something, right?
equity.
If you haven't,
if
you're not wanting to make something your own, then yeah.
Right, exactly. So I see it for those places. But if you're looking for like your dream home, I don't think that's going to.
No, it's not even
Well, I
dream.
wouldn't even say where I live is my quote unquote dream home, but at least I can do whatever the fuck I want to.
Yes.
Right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yep.
Right? It's not
Well, within
it's
reason.
not
But
fucking
Yeah, within reason.
it's not the castle.
You still gotta, if you want to build certain things, you gotta ask zoning permits and shit. But at least you have that option that you could do that, right?
Yes.
I have more option to
Absolutely.
Yes.
pursue said avenues of like if I want to build a deck, I can
Right.
go ahead and look into the avenues to
That's correct.
probably do
Yep.
this.
Sure.
I want to paint my house. I
Yeah.
can paint my house.
That
I
one you
once
can do.
got, I don't
right?
know if this is, you guys tell me if this is good advice. I don't know because obviously we're all looking into owning whatever things and properties and whatnot. And I was talking to somebody who claims they're a financial advisor, such, and talking about the market. This is probably about a year ago now. And their advice to me was to just try to buy my apartment. Just to get my foot in the door in the equity game.
Can't.
Some places you can.
Some places you can.
Yes.
Yeah, but not. most.
I don't know the details.
That's more of a, I think buying
condo-ish thing.
I think
I-
buying
yeah.
apartments and condos is more of a big city thing.
That is definitely big.
Like
city.
Toronto, New York style
Sure it
kind of
is.
thing. Like you're paying like hundreds of thousands of dollars to
Yep.
to live in an apartment.
Right.
But even here in London, a lot of those new ones, they are for purchase condos.
okay.
they are, yeah.
Yeah.
The Renaissance or whatever. The
Yeah,
ones
all the
downtown?
ones coming
okay.
up. Those are a
Yeah,
lot of for purchase.
They're
And
all
I
for
have to
purchase.
admit, though,
Okay.
like, I'm
No.
not going to lie to you, fine gentlemen. I must admit that if I could ever catch at the proper time in go up and actually see some of those views,
Yeah.
fuck, I would do it.
I know. I know.
well,
I want to know
look at
somebody
it.
in there.
I know.
Just so we can be
Just
buds.
to
and-
look.
I know. I know.
I don't know. To me, in my opinion, that's not a home. Not,
No.
not being able
No.
to do.
The only,
That's my opinion, though.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah.
So,
I mean,
no, I
other
must
people
admit-
might feel differently.
and this is just once I win the lottery type idea. Once I win the lottery tonight, because
Yeah.
well, sorry, today's Wednesday, so I
Right.
mean, next on
Next
Friday.
week, yeah.
All right, fuck it. I will admit that once I do that, I would go and buy like a condo in Toronto for that $2 million.
You would do that?
Fuck yeah! Well, if I
Yeah.
won the
No,
lottery,
Yeah.
Like to have as like instead of going and getting a hotel room kind of thing
Exactly.
if you went to
Gotcha.
Toronto.
Gotcha.
I don't disagree with that.
yes, if I had millions
that
of
I
dollars,
would be able to do because then, like we were
Yes.
saying, coming from Toronto, at
You'd have a
least
place.
I get to go home.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
it felt good to go home,
and
right?
it could just
Yeah.
be that. And again, it'd be one of those. Now, to be honest, this is less about the condo, the owning, and shits of this nature, and it's more just imagine if we had a condo that oh, Chris, you're going to Toronto? Oh, sure, man. Here's the key card. Yeah, go ahead. Just don't fucking puke on the floor.
Right? Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah,
That is.
that I could,
Thankfully,
that
I
I
have
could dig.
friends in Toronto that have done that for me, which
Yeah,
is, I got to say, it's
exactly.
pretty great for sure.
That I could dig because then, like you're saying, when I win the lottery,
Yeah, it has to be that.
of course.
because then I would have that place
yeah,
in maybe even a small town or something like that.
exactly.
That is a home, right?
Exactly.
That comfy,
Yeah.
do whatever I want, have a
Yes.
fucking busted ass tractor on my front lawn if I fucking want to as
Yep.
a decoration sort of thing,
Mhm.
right?
Exactly.
And then you have that home away from home that's the whatever place.
So you know what? Saying this out loud, it of course the switch clicked. We were talking about what's better, small, medium, large. No, I want one in each.
That,
Oh,
there
there
it
you go,
is.
there you
Yeah. Therein lies. Yeah. I mean, now you guys are just talking about owning other properties.
Well, we're talking about
we can't
winning the lottery.
decide, so we want one either. If
That's
I had
what I
$1 million,
love about
I'd buy a $2 million condo. Yeah,
Well,
of
that's what I
course.
mean.
If I had $2 million, if I won the lottery, let me tell you what I'd buy.
Exactly, because the only way you can buy multiple
buy a house.
properties now,
Just a house.
winning the
Just
lottery.
One house. That's what I would buy. Just one place I could live outside of my apartment.
And then I could buy groceries.
Exactly. I'd buy groceries. Exactly. But it's a
Oh,
fun
fuck.
thing.
Yeah.
I've committed to what my domicile is going to be, so I'm happy with that. That's what I'm working towards. The whole boxable idea. So that's
You're
what I'm
still
going
you're still on that.
I'm not on it. That's where I'm going. Yeah.
No, you're
that's-
on it.
Yeah,
He's
I
in
am.
it.
You're on it.
No,
Yeah,
he's in
I am.
it.
I'm definitely. I think it's a great idea. It's the idea of like I think of it as if I'm building a home like Lego. It's like it's not something I can do all at once, but I can do as I go.
Okay, but think about this. You're already doing it, but with roommates.
Yeah,
Because
I
there's
guess
somebody
so.
that lives on top of you, and there's somebody that lives on top of them.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
besides, so
that
it's
is
kind of
yep.
like
I'm respecting my space
I'm
because it's
just
building
busting your
towards my future.
no, I think I would. Yeah, if I had the means to do such, not if I won the lottery kind of thing, but yeah, I would move to an Arva Lucany kind of, half an hour, 45 minutes away from a city, so you could get all of those amenities that
That would be nice.
would be, all those creature comfort kind of things, but then you don't have to deal with somebody walking into your house and, all drunk and fucking sleeping on your couch.
Well,
or
you
some
might still have to
crazy
deal with
shit.
that, but you
Might
know your
still have
neighbor a
to,
little
yeah.
bit better, maybe.
Right, but you can call Betty
You're
and
telling
tell
me
her
you guys
to
are
come
passing
pick up
me
her
my
husband
husband.
on your fucking couch. And she'll bring you cookies when she does it.
Because I have to admit, going back a couple of decades, while I was having a party at my house, one of the people who came, no, thankfully it wasn't my direct friend, but a friend of a friend of a friend, passed out of my neighbor's front lawn garden area.
jeez.
Yep.
Who was that? I remember
I
that.
forget his name. It was one of Ange's friends.
Yes. Oh, good guy. I think
Oh
he's a
no,
good
he
guy.
was not a
He's
bad
good
guy.
It was
He's a
all
good guy.
fine. It's just
It was just
he wanted
obliterated.
to lie down.
He
Yeah.
just found a place to
He
take
did.
a nap.
And
I
gotta-
can't say nothing.
And
I've fallen
again, I
through the
forget the
bushes.
neighbor, but he handled it totally fine. He just came over, knocked on the door, and of course, this is like 2:33 in the morning. We're all passing out, and I still remember opening that door, and he knew.
Yeah.
He's just like, I just want to let you know, I think you have a friend over passed out on my lawn, or not? Well, he said on my lawn, but it wasn't actually in the lawn.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just a funny experience.
Hilarious.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was he like he can sleep there for the night? kind
He
of
did
thing,
ask.
or-
Well, he didn't really. I he didn't say anything specific, but I got the
offered to
suggestion.
remove him
Yes.
from the.
I got wind of the suggestion of
Here, buddy, you sleep in this flower bed.
yeah.
Move to this side of the street.
Oh,
My
that's funny.
flower bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just glad he didn't puke all over the place or anything like that. No, he just passed out. It was good. Yeah.
That's,
It was a funny. Again, good times.
what a cul-de-sac that place was.
Yeah, yeah. You
shit.
should go by it. I biked actually up around because again, once the weather gets nice, I do my biking. I
Yeah.
biked out there because I always every year like to go around. And
Yeah.
the two things I love about going up there is or three things: memories.
Yeah.
How much that property has actually changed.
Oh yeah.
It is so neat and tidy compared to when I
gotta
lived in
see
it.
it now for
Oh,
sure.
fuck yeah.
No.
And then really just the third thing is, did I already call it the trees?
No.
Trees.
There's trees everywhere.
So no, it's the same trees, but when we were younger, there were trees.
Yeah, little
No,
ones.
they're
yeah.
baby trees.
Now they're
Oh,
fucking
massive. Big
huge.
trees.
Like it's just wow.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that. I've been doing that a lot lately, going back to my old neighborhoods just
Mhm.
to kind of get the memory blasts and things.
Yep.
And recently, I had one that just my fucking brain could barely wrap its mind around it. So my brother currently lives in a home in a neighborhood that we used to live in when we were kids.
Oh, trippy.
And the layout's the exact same as the layout of the one that we used to live in.
Right.
Okay, fair.
So going in there, wait, sorry. At one point, my brother also had one of our good friends that used to live in that neighborhood stay with him for a period of time. I'm like, wait, hold on a second.
Yeah,
I'm like, how are you fucking repeating so much of our history? This is nonsense.
nice.
But going in there and being a part of it, it was a mind fuck because everything's way smaller than I remember.
Oh,
Bigger,
okay.
right?
Easier, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I was in that place, it felt like a mansion. It felt
Yeah.
like everything was so big, whatever. And then going in, I was like, oh no, yeah. Oh wow. You just kind of get, all the
Yep.
little variations. So it was
That's a trip.
interesting.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
Interesting trip to go
I
through.
always, anytime I go back home, I drive it by we lived in a couple houses in Kenora, but the one that's more of like a Seminole
Mhm.
part of my upbringing.
Mm.
I always wonder what it'd be like to go back and buy the place and live there, but do it with my stuff, right? And I'm like,
For
my,
sure,
my
not
way.
better, at least, yeah.
I could set up the living room how I want to
I
do
do
it.
it, yeah.
This room over here would be that. This room over here would be that, right?
I have to
Yeah.
admit, if I ever saw my old Bloomsbury for sale, I wouldn't buy it, but I would fucking get it on the open house instantly.
yeah.
Like I have
Just
ridden
it,
by
yeah.
that house, and I'm like, if I
See
ever
it.
see a person outside that doesn't look,
Oh, yeah.
that would be
Mhm.
complete ass, I would be tempted to stop and. I have a bad question. I used to live in that house. May I come in and just nothing? You guide me around. Just come in and take a look, please.
Mhm.
Yeah, it'd be trippy.
It's-
That'd be
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Well, and again, I haven't seen it on sale. Not that and again, maybe it got sold, transferred. I just never noticed. But it's one of those things of I would love it to be that it's the person that bought it from us and just hasn't moved for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Wait, you're the fuckers that used to live."
Damn sons of bitches. Yeah.
You know what I had to fix when I fucking
Oh,
bought this place?
I guarantee whomever bought that place from us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, whoever-
Guaranteed new flooring. Guaranteed
Everything.
new flooring.
I
everything.
spray painted some shit in the basement.
Oh, no
yeah,
idea.
yeah. This
No
place.
idea.
Let's put it this way: even if I ever got let back in there, other than like the layout potentially, the rest of it I wouldn't recognize. Probably,
Well,
I'd be
probably
very
not.
surprised.
I'd be shocked.
Yeah.
In fact, I bet you the layouts changed to a degree.
The only thing they could have done is tear down the wall my mom
Yeah,
put in.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
I still don't understand why she put that
it's.
in.
I would say if you
Horrible.
get the opportunity to go to an old childhood home like I did, it's very cathartic. It's worth it.
Yeah.
To give you that.
Yeah. Well, that'd be the one. Like I've lived in other ones as a kid.
sure, but that's your
that was the yeah.
the crux of it
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. If I have no desire to want to live at any of my old places.
I don't want to live. I just want to step
Never.
in.
Oh, wait. Except for my first apartment on Colburn. Well, not the apartment, the house. I think I would have liked to buy the house,
The house.
but I don't know if I really would want to buy the house. I'd much rather go at New Route. I feel like going at New Route's way better, but I love living there. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Just
Yeah.
make sure you clean the fucking
I'll
cups.
fucking clean the cups for sure. I'll get a dishwasher and everything. I'll name her Candy. Anyways.
All right.
Anyways.
Anyways.
I got
Big
it.
cities, small towns. Yeah. So I don't.
Yeah.
I guess one's not better than the other.
No,
really,
I agree.
if you think about it.
I got a question.
I agree.
I got a fun question. Can you think of what is the smallest and largest cities you've been to?
Been to or lived in?
Both.
Well, I've been to a place that isn't even in a city.
Okay. Well, wait. Yeah, let's say been to, because let's be honest, we all know where each other live. There's not going to be anything impressive on that. So
Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
so been to, sure.
Yeah, I've been and even lived in a farmhouse where there was no other place for a good 20-minute walk.
Right, you did.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's probably the smallest.
Yeah.
And then the largest I've been to is New York
New York. Yeah.
Mhm.
for me.
Yeah. For sure.
Largest I lived in was Toronto.
Yeah. AJ.
New York would be the biggest. Smallest. Oh, fuck, I don't even know, man. I'm sure I've been to towns that have like 60 people. Like I don't even.
Yeah.
Because I've been to native reserves and stuff like that
Mhm.
too, right? Which are technically
Yeah.
towns. So
Technically, yeah.
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 So yeah, I wouldn't be able to pinpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the smallest town I've been to is, it's probably not small anymore. Is it Walden? So it's the W.
Walden.
I might have been Walden. I don't know.
Wellburn?
There was like one convenience store that had a gas station. It was so freaking small, and I can't remember where it was near. But anyways,
Does it count if you just driven through them?
no, I actually visited this town, so that's why I'm counting it. And the largest city I've been to has either been New York or Shenzhen.
Shenzhen might get it, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think of that shit. Yeah. When I was in South Korea and all that
Yeah.
fun, to be
Yeah.
honest.
That
Maybe
is
that
a
one
fucking,
is larger.
dude.
Yeah.
That is a trip.
Yeah.
And like why I give Shenzhen a point is because I was there for over 3 months of my life
Nice.
in that place.
I was
So
only at Seoul for a week.
and yeah, that's
I've never been to.
I get
I've
it.
never been outside North America.
You're missing out. No, it's fun, but I will say this about Shenzhen. You get people that talk about the population, whatever. I'm pretty liberal about this stuff. I try not to worry about that stuff. I don't get too caught up in that worrying about how big populations are until you're in the thick of a fucking crowd. It's like, oh wow.
I felt
That's
that a
lot.
few times when we were in New York in the subway.
Yeah,
When you're waiting on the train itself.
it's
Thinking
next
of
level. I'm sure Korea's got to be very similar.
Oh,
to
Seoul
this.
was just
gotta be like it's okay. Let's say I just want two experiences for a subway experiences, and then you get on your.
Well, I was just gonna call it.
Yeah.
It is fucking.
It's
packed.
crazy. So I think of like the best experience we had on the New York subway was probably when like you and BJ and I were alone taking snapshots of each other and
and we're
whatever.
like skating through
Yeah,
the train and stuff like
Which
that.
is
There was
fun.
Nobody on the
You
train.
never saw an empty train in Shenzhen.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking ever. And the worst was when we were coming back from the Guangzhou region, which is this giant shopping area, and I'm like trying to pull myself onto the train. I can't get on.
Oh wow.
It's so fucking packed. The door's about to close. I had to shove myself in, like
Yeah,
force
that's how you
myself
roll it.
into them. And or else I wouldn't have been there. And I would have been like 30 minutes late in a foreign country with my friend who's on the train.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it was that quick. So and that was the only time I've really ever felt that kind of claustrophobic. Oh my God,
Right.
this is a lot sort of experience. So that made me realize, okay, all right, these are some challenges if you really want to live in a big city.
No
You
kidding.
know?
No
This is
kidding.
not a joke, So.
No,
Yeah, I don't think because we probably didn't experience any sort of like rush houry type thing because
We're there for vacation. Right?
well that's the thing we could plan. We're like, okay, we're not gonna go on the subway between
Yeah.
5 and 7 o'clock. We're gonna go skate around the
Exactly.
park for a bit, and
Yeah.
then once rush hour's done, we'll go and fuck around.
Yeah, it
We
was
have
easier
it,
to
right?
maneuver
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, so we don't quite know what it's like to live there.
But I would say we did experience things that were more than say a Toronto subway.
I would say so.
kind of thing, like just
Hell yeah. Oh, it's way crazier
amount
on
of
a New York
people.
subway than a
Yeah.
Toronto subway.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not even a fucking question.
no.
It's like
Well, even Toronto subways are busy, but they
Yeah.
always it's a simpler and I don't mean this. I'm gonna sound like an ass, but we're just very Canadian. Everybody
Yeah.
stays in their
Yeah.
spot. Nobody
Yeah.
makes eye
Exactly.
contact. Everybody looks down.
even the crazy people talk to themselves, not
Yeah.
to other people, right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just different, right? But I agree. We did experience a lot of I think, what New York had to offer in that time. And it's a busy city.
It was interesting.
I think the only time I've never seen it busy was the Sunday night when it was raining. It would have been like 11:30 or midnight, Times Square. Nothing's going on.
Yeah.
And it was like the only time, and it was still like one or two people kind of scurrying.
Well,
around
they're
the streets.
enjoying it much probably.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then, like any other time, it's
Oh yeah, there's something going on.
Yep.
always
Something
Times Square.
happening.
Oh, Times Square's the best. Yeah.
For sure.
Well, what else do we want to talk about, gentlemen?
I don't know.
I'm good. This was great, actually. I always love how I start out a conversation like, well, where's this going to go? This was good.
And here we are.
I can't say I miss living in a small town though. I think I think about the last time I went back home, and it was like, yeah, it's nostalgic, and it's, oh hey, I did this over there and did that over there, and I remember being an idiot at that bar and being an idiot, and then you visit your friends and your old friends and stuff like that. But then it's like, but I want to go home, right?
Yeah.
Like it gets to that point where like it's like they really say you can't really go home. Like your home is wherever you've made it comfortable for yourself.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
Right,
that's for
and-
sure. Yeah.
And unfortunately, yes, Kenora is my hometown,
Sure.
but I wouldn't say it has the feeling of home, right?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
nice. Yeah, makes sense.
What about you, Stratford boy?
Yeah, well, don't get me wrong. Like, I did the visit not too long ago. It was
Sure.
great to go back, have that essence, but still the changes that happen. And
Yeah.
yeah, but for me, yeah, I'm a Londoner. I even though I started in Stratford, I consider myself a Londoner.
I would agree. You're a
Yeah.
Londoner through and
Yeah.
through. I have no desire to want to live in this. What?
Yeah, I don't look at people. I don't talk to people. I don't help people. I don't do anything. I'm a
You're
Londoner.
And
exactly.
when you drive like an asshole.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's exactly.
I'm on a bicycle, but I still am that asshole.
Ding ding, motherfucker.
That's right. Yeah, I have no desire to live in a small town. I the idea of living close to a
You
large
don't-
town. Pardon?
Living with you in a small town, you don't thrive in that environment. At
No,
all.
of course
At
not.
all. You get antsy.
Sure. Yeah. Well, it's I want to do things. There's things to be done, and if I can't do them, then I want to do them. So,
Right.
at least in a big city, there's opportunities to do things.
Exactly.
St. Thomas or other cities or small towns just typically don't, or they have an event and everything's leading up to that event, and
Well,
then
and
that's
it's a few and far between kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
you have your Iron Horse Festival, but
Yeah,
then what's
right.
next?
nothing. Yeah.
Right? You're waiting for another 4
Exactly.
months for fucking the Floofy Flower Festival or
Yeah.
whatever.
That's fine. It's just I mean,
But come on, Floofy
wanna-
Flowers?
Floofy
That's kind of
Flowers,
cool.
come on.
That's kind of cool.
and just for the sake of concerts alone, I can't fucking live in a small town.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think it depends on the concert experience you're looking for.
Yep.
Because I know in
So-
Kenora they have there is a pretty big music, like they have
yeah, the
a lot
outdoor.
of folk artists that come
Yeah.
through. Or
Sure.
they have their every year is called Harbor Fest, and they'll have the old 70s rock bands or washed up
Yeah.
90s rock bands that'll play.
Yeah, that could actually
You
be
know,
fun to go
like-
to.
That would be fun.
Default opening for Nazareth.
Yeah, that'd be a good time.
It was a good time, but
Yeah.
like so.
Bayfest.
Point
they do that
is
thing for
it
the small
depends
town.
on
Yeah.
what you want your concert
Right.
experience.
I
Yeah.
want a lot of concert experiences. A lot. many, many, many opportunities to go see concerts.
Well, then it
For
would
that
de-
reason
it
alone,
would
I can't
depend
live in a
on
small
what
town.
small town.
You're right. It would.
It would because
It would.
if they had a lot of festivals and they were
Sure.
near to a town that had like a
Sure.
stadium,
Yeah.
then you'd be set.
But I can say in my research of looking for places to live and thinking of those things, small towns rarely come up on my radar. It's
so would you
like
live in
never.
Toronto?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah?
If I could afford it and make that
Yeah,
work.
it's the
Actually,
afford.
Yeah. I mean, I live. I
would
don't
you-
have. Here's the thing. I'm a fan of comfort, like everybody else, but I don't have like an ideal living situation. I don't think I'm not gonna. I can't. I don't think I have it in me like, oh, I can't live like that, or I can't live there. I'll do it. Oh, I know I'll eventually adapt. Will I be happy about all this? Not necessarily, but I'll eventually get there. So I don't have like an ideal thing. Although we got fantasies of a place we want to live and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I can pretty much live anywhere. Yeah, I might not like it, but I can live there. I can make it happen, So that's kind of where my attitude's at. Do what you do now to get where you want to get to later. So, that's what
You have fun doing that.
I know.
I was gonna say,
I know.
but there has to be an end.
Yep, you're right. There is, and we'll talk about that next episode. No, I was kidding.
We'll talk about our end.
But you know what I'm saying, right?
I know. Yes, and I do
yes,
have.
you're right. You're absolutely
sure?
like do what you got to do to get to the next step, but then there's got to be a final step,
Yep.
right? You got to get the underpants and make the money.
That's right.
The
That's
final
right.
step's just when you're dead.
That's true too.
That's not
yeah.
the point.
Yeah.
Damn it, Dave.
Oh wow, that got morbid, Dave. Thanks. Oh geez.
Well, I just mean there's always going to be something.
But
true.
that final thing, are you not going to want to be in a living situation that makes you happy? As
Well,
opposed
yeah, but
to
like-
just a living situation where it's like, yeah,
But
I've got a roof and
the
a bed and
reality
food.
is, what
I'm
you say
good.
that, but I'm like, even in my current circumstance, I'm happy. Do you know what I mean? Like, am I my happiest? No. Am I working towards other thing? Yeah. But like, I'm happy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like, yeah, I'm happy with it. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, yes, there's things I want to work towards, and there's living goals that you whatever. But like, to get there, I'll put up with a lot. I'll put up with a lot. You know. Anyways,
Yeah.
we can talk about my financial and living goals.
That's
later.
not the point.
That's fun time.
It's finances wasn't the point.
Sure, but living goals.
You can live in a shoebox. I don't
Living in
care.
a shoebox.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to live in a shoebox. I don't think I could fit in
No.
one.
No, definitely not.
What if they were shoes for like a giant? Like, what if Shaq gave you one of his old shoeboxes? Maybe you'd be able to live in it,
That is true.
That's
Fair
true.
point on that.
Yeah, probably good siding on those
right?
too.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean,
Yeah.
reinforced.
Well, it has to be
Shoes.
reinforced just for the
Mhm.
shoe.
Yeah, exactly.
Size 9 quadrillion.
Yeah, that would be the biggest place I've ever visited for sure. Anyways,
I don't know where to go now.
I think we're done now. I think this conversation has run its course. I think. You out there, you a small town fan, big city fan? Let us know. We want to know what you think. Do you like the big cities or small towns for the reason we do? What's your favorite place to visit? We want to know. Please let us know your thoughts on this topic in the comments below. For anybody out there that's not feeling well, the mental place upstairs, we just want to let you know that you matter, not just to us, but to those that are around you. And it's important to talk about this stuff, so do yourself a favor. Check out the links in our description if you're feeling that you could benefit from such conversations. And if you like what we're doing, we got ourselves a little buy me a link. Buy me a coffee link that you can click on and throw us a buck or two to show your support. But until next time, I've been Harvey.
Dave Shergold.
AJ from Mayberry.
Nice.
Let's go to Mayberry.
Shout out to Floyd the Barber.
Hell yeah. And just like that, folks, you got yourself sarcastically distracted. Thanks for joining us. Peace.
Take care, all.
Yeah, I'll come back
Bye
now.